Hey guys!
Hey guys!
It's time for another Walking Dead review. This time we're reviewing the Walking Dead comic number 148, titled No Turning Back. If you haven't read it yet and you want to avoid any spoilers, you're going to want to skip this video and come back later because everything we say from this point forward is going to be a spoiler. This was overall a pretty uneventful issue. But that said, it's actually one of my favorite issues of the comic ever. So the standoff between Carl and Lydia and Andrea basically gets resolved with nothing really happening. They kind of reassure Lydia that they're not taking her back to Alpha, and that, just makes her feel better, and they're back on their way. And then we get Alpha, and Alpha is having a full-on emotional breakdown.
Yeah, and she gets caught. And the guy is, trying to help her with it and be like, hey, look, this is great, but you need to get yourself together or people are going to challenge you. And she's like, yeah, I know, and cuts his throat.
Yeah, and so she knows she cannot let any kind of word of this get out. If he mentions it to anybody, her leadership is in jeopardy. Mm-hmm. So she kills him, and they're going to add him to their massive herd. So we see kind of where some of those walkers are coming from. They're from her challengers, and clearly not all of them are.
Yeah.
But how many of them are?
Yeah.
So
I imagine it's her challengers and anybody who dies in her little group. They just get added to the herd.
Yeah, and plus any that they round up. I imagine that they do. They round them up like wild horses or something.
Yeah.
And then we get Dwight, and Dwight is plagued by self-doubt, and he has somebody with him who gives him a pep talk, and she's like, maybe you should have stayed because you were a soldier and you could help Rick out. And he's just like, no, I'm not really comfortable being a leader, and she reassures him.
Yeah, and kind of basically says, you don't get to quit.
Yeah.
We need you, you don't get to quit.
Yeah, and so basically, on some level, he does inspire people. And we don't really know how or why because we haven't seen a whole lot of Dwight. But she makes it very clear that he is the leader and people look up to him. And then we get Rick. And Rick's community, Alexandria, is basically an open revolt.
Yeah, they've all gone crazy. Like, they are just not happy that they want, typically, they want revenge right now, this instant, and they're not okay with Rick's plan to send a small group in to get intel before they make the actual plan. They're like, oh, so basically we're not going to do anything. They killed a whole bunch of our people, we're not going to do anything. And it's like, no, just calm down a minute. Yeah. But we can't just go in.
He's like, we can't be stupid. And they're like, oh, we're stupid now. And a full-on fight breaks out, and he has to fire a warning shot just to be like, hey, look, anybody else throws a punch, I'm putting you in the ground. And Rick has to be very aggressive to assert his control and get everybody to kind of step back in line, at least for the second. Although, Eugene, he did kind of go, okay, things are getting kind of out of hand.
Yeah.
And he was the one who kind of started all of this. So I think Eugene, his story could get kind of interesting because I think he's regretting kind of instigating this revolt. But Rick is losing control of Alexandria, and he has to resort to seeking help from Negan, and that's where the issue ends. Yes. Now, the reason I like this issue so much is because we get 3 different, basically, character studies in leadership styles and how they deal with adversity. And out of the 3 of them, Dwight comes out, to me, as the best leader out of the 3, at least in this issue.
Yeah. And, like we've been saying, of course Rick went to Negan for help.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we knew that was coming.
Yeah.
Why else was he still hanging around?
Yeah. So, yeah, issue 148, one of my favorite issues of The Walking Dead ever, even though not a whole hell of a lot happened. Super good issue, though.
Yeah.
Alright, I think that's pretty much it for this review. Would love to know what you guys thought of the issue. Let us know down in the comments if there's anything we forgot, something we got wrong, something you think we should have talked about that we didn't. Also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to let us know by clicking the like button and subscribe for more reviews.
And thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.